News that's coming in at the moment. United States strikes failed to destroy Iran's nuclear sites. Now, this is the intelligence report. US airstrikes only set back Iran's nuclear program by months. The initial US intelligence assessment has now come out with this report. It's the United States that has told the UN Security Council that the strikes degraded the nuclear program. United States airstrikes did not destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities, but only set it back by a few months. Now, this is the initial US intelligence report. There's a shaky ceasefire that we have seen, which has been brokered by the United States of America between Iran and Israel. US President Donald Trump took hold of the situation brewing between Iran and Israel.
On June 21st, a U.S. precision operation effectively fulfilled our narrow objective to degrade Iran's capacity to produce a nuclear weapon. These strikes, in accordance with the inherent right to self-defense, collective self-defense, consistent with the UN Charter, aimed to mitigate the threat posed by Iran to Israel, the region, and to more broadly international peace and security.
Now, you just heard what had happened with regards to the strike that took place. We are now seeing fragile peace which is prevailing over West Asia. All the three parties that are now involved, the United States on one side, Israel on the other, Iran on the other side, all of them are patting themselves on the back. Now, this war went on for almost 12 days. It was the United States of America that had to then step in and broker this ceasefire between Israel and Iran. But even after the announcement of the ceasefire was done, we did see how barrage of missiles were flowing from both the sides, from Iran as well as from Israel. This is very fragile peace which is now prevailing over West Asia. The truce is back after a brief hit, but we did see how Israel and Iran, they continued to exchange salvos at each other. Now, the truce was announced by US President Donald Trump, but after we saw how Iran was also striking Israel with those missiles, we had a conversation. We had a statement coming in from the US president, who then said that he is not happy the way things are unfolding. The entire world was on tenterhooks. All of them were very keenly looking at the situation on the ground. In fact, there's also a latest video which is being released by the United States of America. And in that video, we can very clearly see how the 37-hour-long flight was taken. Now, in that flight, we did see how the nuclear sites of Iran were being damaged. The United States now saying that they are hopeful. President Donald Trump says that he is hopeful that the ceasefire between Israel and Iran will prevail. However, the initial reports that have come in, the United States said that they have failed to destroy Iran's nuclear site, but they have made sure that there's a big setback for Iran's nuclear program by months. So that's the big news coming in from the United States, where they are very clearly saying that we have set back the nuclear program of Iran. Fragile peace prevailing over West Asia. Very keenly, the world is looking at what will happen next. The United States at the moment is saying that they will make sure that the ceasefire now stays on. 12 days, we did see how there was a fight that took place between Iran and Israel. My colleague Rohit Sharma is now joining me on the broadcast. Rohit, we are now seeing how very clearly this is a deal that has been brokered by the United States. And will it last? Will it not last? That's something that the world is very keenly looking at.
Look, today was a very interesting day in Washington, D.C. We saw the President of the United States, President Trump, lashing out at Israel and Iran and using choicest of colorful words to describe his frustration at the violation of the ceasefire. And then that was before he left Washington, D.C. to go and attend NATO summit in Netherlands. After that, he had a direct call with President Netanyahu, where he basically told him to stop attacking Iran. The ceasefire obviously has been in place since then. But Washington today was under cloud of this reporting was done by Reuters and by CNN that said that initial assessment of the Defense Intelligence Agency basically pointing out to the fact that these attack or these strikes by the United States were not as successful as what has been reported up until now. And their assessment is that they have deterred Iran to not pursue nuclear weapon by only few months. And I think that caused a lot of stir here in Washington, D.C. CNN also got a quote from the White House, where the White House basically derided the reporting, also called out the intelligence leak and said that they believe and they firmly believe that these nuclear sites in Iran were obliterated. So a lot of interesting developments here in Washington, D.C. There are people cushioning it. There have been some GOP senators, the Republican senators, who also want to wait and watch and get full assessment report, which could take a while. But President Trump also took note of the reporting, and he dismissed CNN and their reporting, and then went on to post a video that shows B-2 bombers bombing. We do not know for sure if it was an exact video of those bombers attacking Iran, but the background of that video has interesting lyrics and talks about bombing Iran. So a lot that happened today. People are in Washington, D.C. questioning if these strikes were actually successful, if these strikes indeed obliterated, as that word has been used multiple times by the president, Secretary of Defense, and the White House. So there are questions to that. But we did get a report, or I should say a statement by the Pentagon deputy spokesperson, who said that, we've dropped these many thousands of pounds of bombs, and it shouldn't take a genius to figure out if those sites would be obliterated or not.